Hello, everyone. Father Jared coming to you, and I hope everyone is having a blessed summer. Always a good time to spend some time with family and friends and to just bask in the glorious, even if sometimes hot weather, and just the wonderful opportunity to have a bunch of sunlight to take in that vitamin D, so to speak. So I hope everyone is doing well out there, and just wanted to give you kind of a Beacons update. So July 7th, Friday, July 7th, effectively moved the offices. We put it off for a week because we were still trying to get some details worked out. So yeah, so those are kind of there. And then over the next month or two, we'll be working on kind of getting procedures nailed down and getting those figured out and working at the kinks. So be patient with us. As we know, this is hard, and we get that. But also at the same time, I'm rather excited just to be able to work with everybody under one roof for a lot of different reasons. You know, first of all, just the opportunity to bring us together as a team and to be able to, just kind of, to be able to bring all that together so that way everything's kind of working in sync, and I know who I'm supposed to send what to and communicate what to, and just to kind of get that kind of structure and that flow, the structural flow, structural organization, structural reporting system, all just in place will be just a great benefit for all of us, I have no doubt. And just like a lot of great, just a lot of great opportunities for us to really come together and to work for, ultimately, work for the harvest master, our Lord, and bringing more souls to Christ. And so really looking forward to that, and just also, in the midst of all this, the opportunity to help increase unity within our family. And so just note that that is taking place. Offices are open on Monday from 9 to 12 at St. Michael's, and from 9 to 12 on Tuesdays at Sacred Heart. So work that thankfully got Laura Heitman, who's helping us with that. And so I'm very grateful for her generous service and just, the many awesome ways she's helped us out in that regard. So so that's been awesome, and just thankful to Jill Heitmeyer and Judy Blondauer have been helping just to kind of spearhead a lot of this as well. So really, really grateful for, and just all the employees, as you know, Tori Meyer and Kate Boki have just done a great job with communications and helping to make that work. Just been extraordinarily grateful for that as well. And and George Schultes, who's helped to really bring that building to, working on helping me to bring together the buildings and grounds and those aspects of things. And so just really grateful, my vicars who have been generous with time and helped me to, get things covered and all those kind of things. So, just a lot of people to be grateful for. And there's a lot of people I'm not mentioning, like Joel Schultz and, all those people. So just really, really grateful for all of my employees, no matter who they are. Listen, Lemon, we've got, and also we have, hired Marcella Travis, who will be taking over as DRE at Holy Angels, and kind of also spearheading the initiative to bring family catechesis to the entire family of parishes, in little ways, just helping to get parents and give parents the opportunity to get more involved in the formation of their children in the faith. And so looking forward to that, and we've hired youth minister for both youth minister positions now, so that's getting taken care of, and she's got a few things to still hire for. So, we got a few applicants, so all that's good. And and then also just wanted to address some canonical pieces from canonical talks I have recently heard about. So, just number one, like, there have been some things that have been said that I just want to very much so clarify. So, whenever we're talking about what we're trying to do with Beacons of Light within our situation, now this is not every situation, but within our situation, we have communities that are, there is a community to support it, both financially, by taking care of the church building itself, and also the church buildings themselves are. And, there's some things we need to address, but they're in pretty good shape, so it isn't like we're in any danger of anything being, so like the church building itself is okay, the community currently is willing to support it, so as long as people are willing to support it financially, with their presence, with their talents, and with their time, we'll continue to have, our church building standing. So I've heard some people say, like, well, I heard the final goal of this is to have one church building, one campus, and it's like, that is not at all what my goal is. That's not what Archbishop Schnurr has ever said the goal of Beacons of Light is. So I just want to make that clear. And even whenever we become one canonical parish, each church building still remains as a sacred space. So it isn't like we become one canonical parish and then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, because we become one canonical parish, we can just close churches. That's not how that works. Each church, even when we become one canonical parish, is still a sacred space in the eyes of the church's law, and thus the same sort of things apply there even after the canonical merger, as that's kind of the standard across most of the universal church. If you go to Rome, there are usually, like most of the churches that you go into are actually chapels, because there's usually a parish and then usually there's like a lot of subsidiary churches, upwards of like 10 separate chapels that have canonical status as a sacred space and that are not the official parish church. So this is kind of a normal thing in a lot of the universal church. So just to be very clear about that. So that's one thing there to be very clear about. And so again, I don't know how many times I can say this, but I'll say it again. My intention is not to do that. And as long as everyone's willing to support it with their time, talent, and treasure, there's no reason that I feel any need to do that. And I don't want to do that. Like, that's the last thing I want in the world. And people accusing me of that is a little, we'll go there. So I'm just trying to make that abundantly clear. And I don't appreciate being accused of thinking otherwise. So, yeah, so there's that. And then also just like note that we're a good ways away. So like the whole idea that the Archbishop's like going to sneak this upon this, he's been telling us this for now at this time, like basically 2 to 3 years, that these things were going to happen, that this is how Beacons was going to work. And this has to be done by July of 2027, which is now a little less than 4 years away. But that's like not the next step. Next step is trying to get the office merger kind of figured out, trying to get things figured out on how religious education is going to work, like what we're going to do for confirmation prep, how we're going to continue to improve just our formation, like our religious formation from cradle to grave. So we're trying to figure all those things out, and then also trying to figure out how we continue to move our parishes as a family in the direction of becoming missional, because I think a lot of what we have been focusing on is like our little thing, and the church always needs to go out. Like this is something that Pope Francis has emphasized again and again. And the big thing about Beacons, and I think it gives us the opportunity to look outwards beyond just our own church walls, because as a parish, it's not just the people who come to church on Sundays. It's not just the people who registered the parish. It's each and every soul that dwells within our boundaries that we need to be concerned about. And as parishes, we need to learn to become welcoming to people who just join us, whether they're visitors, whether they're just curious, and figure out ways of reaching people in kind of that pre-evangelization stage. Like, how do we let people know that we're here? How do we let people know that there's this person named Jesus? And then how do we share the message of salvation with them? How do we tell them that sin has wrecked the world, that Jesus died for our sins, and that we have access to the grace, the saving grace, to overcome that sin, to abolish that sin, to do away with the sin in our souls by baptism and by the continued reception of the sacraments throughout their lives in the Catholic Church, that Jesus dwells within our churches, quite literally in the tabernacle, but also in his sacraments and also in the church itself, which the Second Vatican Council called the sacrament of salvation, that it's supposed to go out and proclaim salvation to all the world. So how do we do that? Those are like next steps, and those are like things that will be coming up. And so like the whole canonical thing is not where we're quite at yet. So there's other steps we have to make, including so this is another piece that I just want to make everyone aware of. So in a couple of weeks, you'll probably be seeing, the possibility of the ability for us to nominate new members for the pastoral council, the family pastoral council, which again, how this is going to work, as I've explained before, is that we will have 2 current members from each of our current pastoral councils, which will represent each parish. So there'll be 3 reps from each of our 4 parishes, so that make 12 members total. 2 of those members will be current members of the pastoral councils, And then we will have a nomination process. So that means all of you will be invited to prayerfully consider. So again, this is something I want you to prayerfully consider, not just like this person's going to, like, who's going to actually help to move this process forward. It's not just somebody who's going to, just simply throw up obstacles at everybody. Who's going to actually help to make this process better? Who's going to, who are those prayerful people that are going to help bring some reconciliation to this situation? And so that'll be happening, and there'll be a form for that it can be both accessed online, but then we'll also have them probably at the doors of the church and access to the parish office. So just so everybody knows how that works. So, and then pastoral council will make their selections on who they think those new members should be for each parish, and then I will give final approval for that. So that's how that'll be working. That'll be in that nomination form will be coming out, and those will be passed on to pastoral council. So that's that whole thing there. So I think that's a lot of the big stuff there. So just trying to continue to communicate that well with this video, and hope that you all do have a good rest of your summer, and that, we'll see you around. So God bless you, and just know of my prayers and continued just continued love for each and every one of you. So may God bless you in your day and your families.